We'll have a lot of Japanese guys. We only had one here. A lot of guys from Asian countries. But now we have what we have here on the very old and very famous track of Pikernieki, which was constructed completely in 1968. And the guys have a very difficult task for today, and we already had a qualifying, and now I see the roaring of the engines. Those guys are coming here, and in the first row of drift cars we can see Damir Idiatulin from Krasnoyarsk from Russia, the winner of qualifying with a huge amount of 98 points.
Absolutely incredible. We saw, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 drivers in the top half of the 90-point runs. Absolutely incredible qualifying.
And here is Kaspersky Drift Taxi going right in front of us. So, guys, it's now time to meet our drivers.
So much of our life is spent online.
It's how we communicate
and connect.
Study, work.
Hello, I'm all the things I do online. I'm a secure smart shopper. For the right price, I can buy the whole world. I'm cat gifts, peach emojis, but only for my faves. Like a boss. I'm the RPG and action game without lag. And I'm the provider of safe content for my kids. I am what I do online. So are you. Kaspersky, made to protect the online you.
First of all, this is our sponsor's drift car, Kaspersky, as you can see. And now I would like to introduce you the first team of our parade. This is the team from Russia, Fresh Auto Drift. And number 81 is RDS Siberia, which is in Russia, champion and vice champion of RDS GP, Evgeny Losev. Number 59, 2 times Irish champion, 2 times British drifting champion, the guy representing Ireland, Jack Shanahan. Number 78, Siberian Winter Drift Battle champion, bronze medalist of RDS GP 2020, and the winner of today's qualifying, Damir Idiatulin from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. The next team is Liqui Moly team, and number 210, the driver from Kiev, Ukraine, Max Miller. Number 850, 2 times Czech champion, 2 times top 8 winner in Drift Masters, representing Czech Republic, Michal Reichardt. Number 93, 2 times Lithuanian champion and 2 times vice champion of Baltic states from Ukmergė, Lithuania, Benediktas Čirba. Daimler Racing Team. Number 84, the guy from Hong Kong, Charles Eng, RDSGP Vice Champion. The guy that suddenly met some technical issues during qualifying, but we're still glad to see him here. 2 times D1 GP champion and Formula D champion, Daigo Saito from Japan. The guy that collected awesome 18 titles in Europe, in Britain, in Ireland, and in the USA, James Dean from Cork, Ireland. Number 69, 2 times Ukrainian champion and defending RDSGP champion from Kiev, Ukraine, Alexei Golovnya. Number 36, the one and the only representative of Estonia, Estonian champion of 2018 and Estonian champion of 2020, Oliver Randalu. Four-time Czech champion, 1-time champion of King of Europe Series, 2 times champion of Central European Zone of FIA, representing Czech Republic, Marko Zakuril. The one and the only representative of Switzerland, Formula Drift Pro driver, Joshua Reynolds. Three times RDSGP champion, 2 times world champion from Krasnoyarsk, Russian Federation, Georgy Gocha Chivchan! Defending world champion even. The one and the only representative of Georgia, winner of Georgian Drift Series of 2019 and winner of Red Bull Car Park Drift Georgia 2020 from Tbilisi, Georgia, Nodo Kodwa. Number 55, the only representative of France. The driver of Drift Masters European Champion and organizer of local national French championship in drifting, Jérôme Vassia. The only representative of Republic of Belarus from city of Minsk, 2-time champion of Belarus, champion of East European Drift Championship, Sergei Sak. Number 19, 2 times Italian Drift champion, Manuel Vacca. And we have one more Italian here, vice champion of Italy, Massimo Chechin. The guy that represents Poland, and he competes in both sim and real drifting competitions. Vice champion of Drift Open and the participant of Drift Masters European Championship from Poland, Paweł Grosz. Number 99. Drift Masters Vice Champion and the winner of Polish Cup Drift Open 2 times in a row, Grzegorz Hipki. The youngest driver we have here and the representative of Team Viada Latvia. This guy scored a lot of titles. He's Baltic Drift Champion, Livonia Drift Champion, Latvia Pro Drift Champion. It's all in his 16 years old Niklas Knick-Knack Bertans. Number 80, again from Viada Latvia team. East European Drift champion, 2 times East European Drift champion. Silver medalist of RDS GP and participant of Formula D from Riga, Latvia, Kristaps Blušs. And one more representative of Viada Latvia team. 4 times Latvian vice champion, Baltic Drift champion and East European Drift champion, Ivo Cirulis. One more team we have here, it's called Fail Crew, and they have 3 drivers and 2 cars, which is a kind of bad luck. And 1 result. Number 88 from Sochi, Russian Federation, vice champion of IDC 2017, Arkady Tsarigradzev. 3 times Ukrainian champion, 2012 EEDC champion, and 2019 FIA Motorsport Games Drift champion from Odessa, Ukraine, Dmitry Ilyuk. And silver medalist of Formula Drift UAE, and one of the most famous RDS GP drivers from St. Petersburg, Russia, Sergei Kabargin. And last but not least, number 13, the guy from Riga, Latvia, winner of Street Class Latvian Championship, and now he's competing in semi-pro and pro competition this year, Edgars Krogeris. And now, let's move in the middle of composition and meet our officials. First, I will introduce you to 3 guys that are making very hard decisions this weekend. Our judges. From Amsterdam, Netherlands, Vernon Zwaneveld. From Prague, Czech Republic, David Kalash. And from Minsk, Republic of Belarus, Heiko Simonyan. And one more important person that I'd like you to be introduced to, our race director in this weekend and the head of RDS, Russian Drift Series, that promotes and organizes these events, Dmitry Dobrovolsky. And he will say some words to you. Hello, Riga!
Yeah, we need much more people, but let's try again. Hello, Riga! That sounds better. There's nothing to say except thank you very much that you are here, that you feel drifting with us, and that you will see the best drifting in the world in the best racing track. It's amazing, and we expect the best battles today and tomorrow. Всем дрифт!
Thank you very much, Dmitry Dobrovolsky, race director of this event and the head of RDS, Russian Drift Series. Okay, top 32 of FIA IDC 2021 will start in just couple of minutes. And now, please, all rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Latvia.
much of our life is spent online
It's how we communicate.
and connect.
Study. Work.
Hello, I'm all the things I do online. I'm a secure smart shopper. For the right price, I can buy the whole world. I'm cat gifts, peach emojis, but only for my faves. Like a boss. I'm the RPG and action game without lag. And I'm the provider of safe content for my kids. I am what I do online. So are you. Kaspersky, made to protect the online you.
Hello and welcome back to FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2021. As we see, we are in Riga Biķernieki racetrack in Latvia, and we see a little bit, or should I say better, a lot of rain. Minutes after the driving parade, it started to rain, and now the track is soaking wet. So yeah, it will be different. A lot has changed since the morning, since the qualifying, but of course the track layout stays the same, and the drivers will have to adapt to this new surface, the more slippery surface, and so it will be interesting nevertheless. So yeah, in a few minutes, and we interview.
So we are here at the starting line, and it is very bad conditions today. So I've got Alex with me here. Alex, the track is very, very wet now.
Yes. It's a very dangerous track now.
Yeah. So very dangerous. What will you do? Are you going to go slow or are you going to go fast?
Slow in first turn, on very no grip. But I'm ready to my by run. It's no dangerous by run. And then slow, light driving, no problem for me.
So you have the by run for the first run, so it will be easy. So will you use this for testing for tomorrow?
Yes, this by run test for tomorrow. Tomorrow plan rain all day.
So have you made any major setup changes in terms of the car, or is car the same as today?
Yes, little change in suspension, rear suspension.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for the update. Of course, Alex Golovnya says that, yeah, he has no problem. Of course, he qualified with a very good result in 6th position, so he will advance automatically to top 16 and to tomorrow's race. And we have together 8 drivers, so the first 8 in qualifying will have byruns. One of them, the qualifying winner, Damir Idiatulin, with his Toyota Altezza from Russia, and with number 78 Toyota Altezza, and fresh auto team. So these 8 drivers will have, or will use this as a practice run. Of course, they have to finish, but no, of course, pressure on them. No other driver, no other competitor. So we'll see how they will perform. Very easy run from Damir Idiatulin, and it seems that he won't be drifting at all. He will be just driving through the track, and we see that the track is really wet. We have some standing water in a few places, and of course it's interesting that this track has also tarmac changes. So the first corner has better grip on these wet conditions, the further part, the straight, has new tarmac, and it's more slippery during these wet conditions. And we see Damir Idiatulin driving through, and yeah, we can say driving through to top 16, because as qualification winner, as I said, the first 8 of qualification automatically went into top 16, which will happen tomorrow. But today we have 16 guys competing for 8 more places, so it will be fun to watch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that these conditions will give us a few surprises and will give us a little bit different different results, maybe if we compare to driving in normal normal dry conditions. And of course, as these conditions have changed very much from completely dry to completely wet, each driver will get a warm-up run, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to let them drive straight away in tandem battles. It's too much, it's too dangerous, and it wouldn't be also no fun to watch for us. It would be sliding around, a lot of unnecessary crashes happening, and so it's, of course, in the word of safety, this will be the first run, will be a warm-up, a practice run for both drivers, and it won't be judged. And the first tandem run we will see after their practice run will be between Grzegorz Chybki and Paweł Grosz, 2 Polish drivers. The 2 only Polish drivers in this competition have qualified in position 16 and 17, and that's why they will meet up in the first round in top 32. Yeah, of course, for the Polish fans, sorry for you, what a shame, but yeah, that is how it that's how it goes sometimes, and you have that same situation also for some Latvian drivers a little bit later. And yeah, Grzegorz Chybki, one of the best Polish drivers, has been a Polish champion, also a 2nd place in King of Europe Drift Tog, 2nd place in Drift Masters European Championship in 2017, also 3rd place in European Championship 2018. So Grzegorz Chybki knows how to drive. He has a lot of experience, and we'll see how he'll cope with these conditions. Yeah, he's running a Nissan Silvia S15 with 2JZ engine, 3.4 liters, so a stroker kit installed. As we know, 2JZ comes with 2 liters in stock, and yeah, performance-wise, over 1,000 horsepower. He claims that he has. And the weight of the car, 1.4 tons. So warm-up run, Grzegorz Chybki against, as I said, Paweł Grosz. No judging of this, but still they are having quite close run until this point. Of course, it's practice. They will have to run just in a few minutes against each other, and yeah, sliding around a little bit like ducks. And we see these puddles of water, of standing water, and yeah, quite dangerous, and you have to have a lot of skill to maintain power, the control of the cars, because, as I said, yeah, most of the cars have powers 600, 700 and more horsepower, and they are running semi-slick tires, most of them, or yeah, I would say all of them. But maybe some of the drivers are prepared for this and have special tires for these wet conditions, more proper tires for these wet conditions. So we'll wait and see. When we see that somebody has a lot of more speed than others, then we can of course think that they might have some kind of tire advantage. So yeah, as we are waiting, we can I can tell you the 8 guys who have qualified already for tomorrow's top 16. As I said before, we saw Damir Idiatulin, the number 1 in qualifying. Then it's also Max Miller, was 8th in qualifying. Benediktas Čirba from Lithuania, 4th place in qualifying. Niklas Bertans from Latvia also in top 16. Then Jack Shanahan, who was 2nd in qualification from Ireland. And we go to an interview.
So, I'm here with Jack Shanahan on the start line. Jack, I mean, this is basically like being back home, right? I mean, I know you've got a bit of a bye run here, but are you able to take anything from this run today, considering what the conditions might be tomorrow?
Yeah, so I've been looking at the weather, and I think it's going to be like this again tomorrow. So we're going to see if we can do a run. I did feel a bit of a vibration through the car driving to here after my qualifying run. So I'm not too sure whether to risk it and break something or do an easy run, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, and I don't know if it's like this tomorrow. It's going to be a completely new playing field for everybody. So it's going to be very difficult and different for everyone. So I don't know.
So you've got the dilemma right now of needing to understand what the track is like, but at the same time needing to understand if your car is okay. So how do you prioritize?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think once I take off, I'm going to try to give it the gears, and if it takes them okay, it should be fine to drift, because once it's in a gear, it shouldn't be a problem. But it was only like a slow movement vibration, so it might be okay.
Thanks, Jack. Back to you guys.
We heard from Jack Shanahan, who has quite a dilemma right now, what to do, because he is facing some kind of a little bit car problems, but we will go back to that a little bit later. So we are ready for the first top 32 battle. Grzegorz Hipki against Paweł Grosz, 2 Polish drivers battling it out on this soaking wet Bičernieki racetrack at this moment. So they are ready to go. We are waiting for the green light. And yeah, completely new conditions, and let's go. First battle of today. Hipki out front, Grosz will be following, and yeah, the proximity seems nice at this moment. Of course, at the front you have to do a perfect qualifying line. Outer zone 1, that is really nice from Grzegorz Hipki. Had not so good qualifying runs before, but right now, of course, the wet conditions maybe play a little bit in his cards. And yeah, nice run from both drivers. Not exactly in the right zone at the moment. Hipki also too less angle from him, from the lead driver. Oh, and it's straightening out from Paweł Grosz. He's facing more problems than Hipki right now, and yeah, that means, of course, that his result will be punished. Okay, the end is nice, really close each other, but yeah, huge mistake before. Really huge mistake by Grosz, who until up that point I think was pretty much in the game. So I don't know why and what's happened to him, why he had to straighten it out there. Maybe he didn't know about the surface, how much grip will he have at that moment, and maybe he got more grip than he thought he would get. So yeah, that happens, of course, because until we see very close, really nice transitions, really nice proximity between these two Polish drivers. Yeah, a lot of standing water here. That's, of course, dangerous, not only for losing grip, but also for maybe damaging their cars, because, of course, a lot of, I don't know, somehow maybe he thought he doesn't have much space there to transition. But either way, it's a lost run. It's a lost chase run by Paweł Grosz. And of course, here we will see the angle from the following from the chase driver, from Paweł Grosz in his Toyota GT. It's Subaru BRZ. It's his car, but of course, yeah, it's the same platform as Toyota GT86. And interesting that both drivers are running 2JZ engines. And 2JZ is the preferred option for half of the 24 left drivers here in top 32. So yeah, a legendary engine, not only, of course, in drifting, but also in other sports. And yeah, here we see the last corner after the mistake of Pavel Grosz. And they're back at the starting line, have switched positions. Now Grosz will be leading and Grzegorz Hipki will be chasing. So yeah, for Hipki, just only one thing to do. He has no major mistakes and he will be through top 16. So that's the main goal right now for Grzegorz Hipki. I think he is experienced enough to do that. If needed, maybe, don't get too much. Oh, and it's a mistake in the first corner by Pavel Grosz. Couldn't initiate correctly and was driving straight on the track. Of course, that's a big mistake, and he goes a little bit wide off track over the curb. And Pavel Grosz once again over the curb, and he's having a lot of problems with this wet surface. In the dry he was looking okay. Maybe the qualifying result didn't really show his full potential on dry line, on dry conditions. But right now, of course, he has lost out straight in the lead. Straight in the chase run, straight in the lead run. And Grzegorz Hipki, using his full experience, we can see that he's really happy about this result, of course. And he will advance on to top 16. Of course, we will wait for the official confirmation, but I don't see how Pavel Grosz with two, as we saw here, going straight with 2 zeros. I think it's not possible to advance further. Pavel Grosz, sim and real drifter. That's an interesting, of course, fact. He has participated in Drift Open with good results, and this year he's planning to drive a full Drift Masters European Championship season. But here at FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup, he will lose out and he will have to pack his things and go home. Go hard or go home, as they say. And real beauty shots here in slow motion through the standing water, as we are waiting, of course, for the judges to say their verdict, their result. But I think it's pretty clear. This will be, I think, one of the more clearer battles, and I think there will follow more close battles in the next hours. And we see, of course, Hipki is really happy when he crosses the line. Didn't make any mistakes, and of course, if he advances, he will have a tough competitor tomorrow in top 16, the winner of qualification, Damir Diatulin. And it's clear, all three judges named Grzegorz Hipki the winner, and he advances to top 16, the battle of the Polish drivers, and Hipki wins and goes into top 16. So congrats to him. As we are moving on to the next battle. But we will start with a by-run from Max Miller. The Ukrainian driver, Liqui Moly team. With his BMW 4 Series Liberty Walk kit. And he's rocking not a 2JZ, but old school V8 engine LT4 from General Motors. 6.2 liters, 720 horsepower. And one of the heaviest cars, so 1.5 tons of weight. But that doesn't matter today to him. He is already in top 16, so let's see how he will go on his by-run. The same as Damir Diatulin, play safe, no drifting, and seems that Max Miller is choosing the same tactics. Don't break the car, don't risk anything, just drive slowly to the end, and you will automatically, of course, advance. Oh! But no, Max Miller is trying to drift here on the little bit slower part of the track, checking the grip levels right now. And of course, as we talked with drivers before, there is a chance that tomorrow we will get the same weather for top 16. So it makes sense. It makes sense right now to just get the grips a little bit, understand how the track has changed, where there is maybe a little bit more grip, where there is less grip. As I said, the tarmac surface is changing. It's on one part of the track. It's more slippery. On the other part of the track, it's more grippy. So you have to feel these changes already on dry conditions, but in wet conditions it gets more and more difficult. So Max Miller is on to top 16. Congrats to him. Qualified as in 8th position with 88 points. So that's his lucky number today. Let's see how he will fare tomorrow. And we go on to the next battle already. Yevgeny Losev against Joshua Reynolds. Losev from Russia, one of the best Russian drivers. And very good in winter drift battles in Krasnoyarsk. He has been vice champion and 3-time champion. And yeah, also second place last year in a Russian Drift Series. So, but this is a warm-up as before. We have a warm-up run. The drivers will and yeah, we go to the interview.
Ivo, so we are here on the start line and it is very, very wet. How are you going to approach this battle now? You've not really driven the wet today. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. The wet condition is good for me. I'm a lot drive with the wet condition. Very good to get. We want some warm-up run, and then let's see how things go on.
In your warm-up run, you have one attempt to see what the conditions are like. What are you going to be looking for?
Don't know yet. Let's see how much water on the track.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Peden, for this interview with Ivo Tsirulis. Yeah, the Latvian driver. He will look out how much water is on the track, because yeah, I think that's one of the main points. How much water is on the track, how slippery it is, what can I do, how can I approach this first run, and he will be driving as a lead driver for the first run, and his fellow Latvian Edgars Kroģeris will be chasing. So it will be really interesting to see how this battle will go, because yeah, Tsirulis with much more experience and also a lot of experience on wet conditions, on snowy conditions, on ice conditions. Because yeah, we here in Latvia there was a really strong winter with lakes, with frozen lakes, and yeah. So Ivo Tsirulis is or can easily adapt to these mixed conditions or to these wet conditions. We'll see about Edgars Kroģeris, how it will go for him. Not so much experience for him, but also a good up-and-coming driver here in Latvia. But of course, we will be waiting right now for this battle between Losev and Joshua Reynolds. Joshua Reynolds is from Switzerland, so based in Switzerland, and with number 33, and the Formula Drift Pro driver. His Toyota GT86 has not a 2JZ but a LS7 supercharged engine, 7.4 liters, 900 horsepower. So it will be fun to watch what he can do in these wet conditions. And Yevgeny Losev, also with a very interesting car, Toyota Mark II. He has the classic 2JZ setup, also nearly 900 horsepower. So a battle between two Toyotas, but very, very different Toyotas, with yeah, one from the 80s and a run from the 2010s. So let's go. Losev out front, the lead driver. Reynolds will be chasing a lot of distance in the first corner. I would say too much, but not the greatest line right now from Losev. I think Reynolds straightening out. Yeah, once again, he has a very much difficulty to keep the car sideways. Now he is getting closer to Losev, but again straightening out, so he doesn't love these wet conditions. In the dry it wasn't easy for him, but now in the wet it's completely out of hand for him. And yeah, Yevgeny Losev was the favorite, of course, in this battle, and he's driving conservatively good, hitting out the lines and very close to the wall, and Reynolds spinning at the end. So yeah, a bad run with a very bad ending. Let's see again. I think the Russian driver Losev didn't make much mistakes. I think the really only one here, a little bit of a double initiation from him, but it's forgivable if we look at the conditions. Otherwise, it seemed that he filled almost all the zones. Yeah, very nicely getting out to the outer zone 2. And also here through the standing water. Doesn't lose control. Yeah, missing a little bit outer zone 4, but as I said, the conditions are... I think it's fair to say that the conditions are a little bit horrible, because it's not only wet, but it's standing water. I think right now it's not really raining anymore. Or maybe, yeah, not so much as previously, but still. We don't know how the conditions will change. It is possible that, yeah, the rain stops, maybe, hopefully, at some moment, and the track could dry out. But right now, the weather applications say that the rain is going with us till the evening. So that's the conditions we have to live today. While we're looking at these replays, I wanted, of course, once again say thank you to our big partners, general sponsor IMOL, official sponsor Kaspersky, and of course the FIA IDC promoter from 2021 till at least 2023 Russian Drift Series. But of course we go right now to the second part of this battle. Reynolds out front, and Losev will be chasing. Yeah, Losev has one goal: don't make too many mistakes, don't make big mistakes, and the battle is yours. A little bit of problems during initiation from Losev. Let's see how Reynolds out front will be driving. He had a very difficult... Oh, and he crashes into the tires. Reynolds is out of this second run, and Losev, yeah, he's driving till the end, using this time to adapt this really wet track right now in his Toyota Mark II. I think Losev will be one to watch tomorrow in top 16 and further. He looks very at home here at Bitterneki circuit. And you have to mention that it's the first time for him here, battling out. So huge respect for his car control and showing on this track. Of course, we see right now the replay and the big mistake from Joshua Reynolds, going a little bit too wide, hitting the tire barrier. And yeah, not a huge crash, but of course this run was over for him. And yeah, we can see maybe there on the tarmac where there is a line. So from there on, here it's still very grippy, and from here on it's very slippery where the tarmac gets darker. There is the new tarmac. Okay, it's not so new anymore, a few years already here, but still during wet it's very slippery. And of course, Yevgeny Losev gets the win in top 32 and advances to top 16. Congrats to him. He will be battling Max Miller tomorrow. So Ukraine against Russia tomorrow in top 16 between these two drivers. And now we will have a Byron, Benediktas Chirba, fourth place for him in qualification with 90 points. So a really, really good result from him, from the Lithuanian champion. Let's check out which year. I know he was Lithuanian champion, or if that was last year or if that was this year. Okay, he's 2 times Lithuanian champion, 2018 and 2019, as well as Baltic vice champion 2019 and 2020, and he's representing Liqui Moly team. Yeah, of course, I have to say that Yevgeny Losev was a driver from Fresh Auto Drift. So we have not only drivers competition this weekend here at FIA IDC, but also team competition, and it will be interesting to see which team will come out front in the end. Right now, Benediktas Chirba, Byron, let's see what his tactics will be. He's looking not so conservative as the 2 drivers before him. And yeah, he's drifting from the first corner on. Benediktas Chirba is using his Byron to its full potential. And yeah, he knows what he can do. A lot of self-confidence, of course. He has been here a lot of times here in Riga, Latvia, in this track. And he's showing a really, really good run. Almost, it seems like a qualification run from him. Okay, missing a little bit of outer zone 4, but that's understandable. Either way, it's a nice Byron by Benediktas Chirba. And yeah, Benediktas Chirba driving a BMW E92 Eurofighter with 2JZ engine, 900 horsepower. And Achilles tires. And we got to interview Peden. Okay, I assume we will get to the interview in just a second. Right now we are seeing the practice run between Arkady Tsergretsev and Jérôme Vassia. And after the practice run, of course, they will go back to the line and compete against each other. The winner gets to drive tomorrow against Benediktas Chirba, the Lithuanian driver. Yeah, Arkady Tsergretsev, a Russian drift legend. Jérôme Vassia, a French drift legend. So 2 legends meet in this top 32 battle. And yeah, nice to see. Now, if we look at the accomplishments or achievements between these two, Arkady Tsergretsev was vice champion of the first FIA IDC competition back in 2017, and also 3 times champion of Siberia. That's Arkady Tsergretsev. And if we look at Jérôme Vassia, he has been competing in the Drift Masters European Championship as well as WDS or World Drift Series in China. So I think we can go to the interview, maybe. Seems like it. Or maybe in a minute. No problem, no problem. As we're right now waiting for Tsergretsev and Vassia, here we see them. Warm-up done, and we will move on to the real battle between these 2 drivers. So it seems that the rain has stopped right now. The real question is, will it dry out? We have around 19 degrees here in Riga at the racetrack. So I think it's better to have wet conditions than to have mixed conditions. So with dry patches, then it's the most difficult, and yeah, of course, it shows who is the better driver, who has better car control. But on the other hand, it's a little bit also a game of luck. So we don't want game of luck. We want game of real drifting. And let's see how it will go right now. Arkady Tsergatsev out front with his DD Kaba Flanker F. Against, as I said before, Jérôme Vassat in his Nissan 350Z. Yeah, quite a distance between the two drivers right now. The French can't keep up with the Russian driver right now. And outside zone 2, very, very nice driving right now from Tsergatsev. Oh, he goes very deep to get into this zone, but does it well. But it gives Jérôme Vassat the chance to pick up a little bit of pace and pick up proximity. And last transition, and we are on to the wall. A big mistake by Jérôme Vassat, straightening out, almost opposite drifting. And yeah, that's a huge mistake by him. If we compare to Tsergatsev, who had no problems at all on staying on track, staying on course, staying sideways. And of course, staying cool in his very cool DD Kaba Flanker F drift car. As we see here on this replay. Very interesting engine choice by Tsergatsev. VR38. I think that's a Nissan engine, 3.8 liter. I think it might be the Nissan GTR engine with 650 horsepower. And Jérôme Vassat driving a 3UZ V8 turbo, so 4.44 liters. So interesting setup. VR38, of course, is a V6 engine that is under the hood of Tsergatsev's car. And yeah, horsepower-wise, a little bit of advantage for Vassat, but in the wet conditions, doesn't make really a difference right now. Yeah, picks up a little bit of distance at this point, Vassat, but it's getting too close for his liking, it seems like that, and then comes a mistake from him, and a huge mistake, of course. In just a few moments, they will switch positions. And Vassat will be riding out front. Tsergatsev will be chasing. And that's happening right now.
Johns? Once again. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic test, 1, 2, 1, 2.
So, Jérôme Vassat from France goes out front. Second part of this battle, of this top 32 battle. Right now, of course, Tsergatsev with the better chances to get into top 16. And yeah, he's not playing safe. Pretty close to Jérôme Vassat. Yeah, I thought it will be more conservative. And goes out of track. Jérôme Vassat loses a little bit out of drifting, still stays on the track. I think that was, yeah, huge correction, of course, from him, losing out points there, but Tsergatsev is on track, is on line, and is very, very close. Oh, very nice ending to this battle between Vassat and Tsergatsev. So yeah, I would say 2 parts or 3 parts in this second run. First part, Vassat out front, driving, I would say okay, quite okay. Tsergatsev very close, nice proximity, really nice battle here between these two drivers. And yeah, a little bit of slow transition maybe for Tsergatsev at this point, and almost with all 4 wheels off for Jérôme Vassat, but he kept it together somehow and made it to the end, made it to the finish line. And of course we will have a result. I think it's pretty clear, but we have to confirm it. And yeah, all the 3 judges say. Arkady Tseregradzev from Russia advances on to top 16. Congrats to him, and he will be facing Benediktas Čirba tomorrow. And right now we will have a bye run but just for Nicolas Bertans, the youngest competitor here, only 16 years old, but already with a lot of achievements. 2020, so last year Baltic Pro Drift Championship, Livonia Pro Drift Championship and Latvia Pro Drift Championship. So very nice titles in his first full pro season. Because if we go back to 2019, he was only driving in semi-pro class, where he also did get the title, the first place over early. So, oh, there's a cone hitting over. And let's see how Nicolas Bertans will approach his bye run. The same as Čirba, drifting from the first corner on, testing the limits, testing how the car grips. And yeah, of course, he will get useful information of this run that he can share with his mechanics, with his engineers, to see what can be done better for the car, what changes can be made to the suspension, maybe another differential. Yeah, a lot of things can be done. Maybe play a little bit with the tires, tire pressure. So Bertans will have really useful information after this run, and yeah, really nice, close to the wall, trying everything he can. And with this run, his bye run is over, and we go to the interview to Peden.
So, Charles, you are very familiar with wet conditions. It has stopped raining now, but it's still looking very, very tricky out there. What's your plan for the run that you have coming up?
I will try to find out most about the grip and the conditions of different patches. On my first test, we have one test run, so I'll try like different gears, maybe try a gear lower or something. But yeah, hopefully my car will react okay to the rain, because with this setup we've never driven in the rain. So yeah.
How important is that first test lap to you?
It's really important. It's like jamming all the information into your head, and when there's like an exam coming up. Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for this really nice comparison from Charles Eng. Yeah, the first run will be like an exam, trying to get all the information to the head and yeah, process it, of course, and then apply it back to the track. So we see here, problems for Edgars Kroģeris. This is the test run for Ivo Cirulis and Edgars Kroģeris. And as we saw before with the two Polish drivers, we have here an all-Latvian battle in top 32. Ivo Cirulis, yeah, with a lot of accomplishments, a lot of achievements, with a lot of experience, of course, more than 10 years, I would say almost 15 years in drifting. Edgars Kroģeris, I think, maybe his 4th or 5th year in drifting. And yeah, Cirulis, 4 times Latvian vice champion, 1-time Baltic Drift Championship, and of course also Eastern Europe champion in 2015. A few years ago, but still going strong with his BMW E46 2JZ engined, 750 horsepower, and yeah, on Westlake tires. Against, as I said, Edgars Kroģeris in his BMW F22 LS3 V8 engine, 510 horsepower from 6.2 liters, and also rocking Westlake RS tires. So tire choice is similar for these two drivers. Car and engine choice a little bit different. One is, of course, straight 6 with turbo for Cirulis, and V8 for Edgars Kroģeris. As we saw, Edgars Kroģeris hit some problems in the second corner during his warm-up run. So let's see, Ivo Cirulis against Edgars Kroģeris, two Latvian drivers right now in top 32, fighting for the place in top 16 in the competition tomorrow in FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. And the winner gets to drive against Nicolas Bertans in top 16. So another all-Latvian battle there tomorrow. All right, green light, let's go. Cyril is out front. Kroger is chasing. Let's see how much of a distance there will be between the two drivers in the first corner. Trying to get close. Kroger is and making mistakes, driving straight. Can't control these conditions so good as before in the drive. And right now, yeah, he's keeping it together, but with a huge mistake. And yeah, really slow transition. Driving a little bit straight again by Edgars Kroģeris. Of course, he doesn't want to damage his freshly built car. And Cyril is ticking all the boxes, doing everything right now. And as he said before in the interview, wet conditions do suit him, and he likes driving in the wet. So they're both on the finish line, pretty close together. And that's it for the teammates. The first half of the battle between these two Via de Latvia teammates. And of course, they are all four Latvian drivers are driving in Via de Latvia team. And let's see once again the replay. Yeah, huge mistake by Kroģeris, driving at least, I don't know, a couple of 10 meters straight. And we will see once again here, yeah, a little bit straight more. So very difficult to adapt to these wet conditions. And of course he has to adapt also to a fresh new car built for this season. And yeah, he has a lot of potential in the future, but right now we are seeing who has more experience, who has more titles in his bag, and that's Ivo Cyril for sure right now. And once again, a replay from the top. And the drivers will come back, of course, switch places. Now Kroģeris will be driving out front. I think he will do a better job driving out front because you don't have a car in front of you. You don't have to adapt to the lead driver. You can just concentrate on yourself, on your driving. And here we see the onboard of Edgars Kroģeris. And they have switched positions. Of course, the car of Edgars Kroģeris, BMW 2 Series with the famous HGK Eurofighter body kit. You can't mix that up with anything else. So, part two, second half of this battle. Kroģeris out front. And Ivo Cyril is chasing. Yeah, the goal for Cyril is pretty, go easy, don't make mistakes, and then you're through. Right now, a good job by Kroģeris on the first two corners. Let's see how this will play out. Very slippery, and yeah, he overjudges, goes very, very wide, but still stays on track, stays sideways, and Ivo Cyril is also still staying sideways. Big mistake, of course, from Kroģeris. A lot of distance between these two drivers. Cyril has had to back off, not to get into the car of Kroģeris, not to make a mistake, not to make a crash. And right now, they're on to the final corner, the wall corner, and Kroģeris also over the line, as is Cyril, and the battle is over between these two Latvian drivers, between these two Via de Latvia teammates. So we'll see the replay. Good job from Kroģeris. Of course, this is one of the most tricky sections of the track. The change of tarmac from the more grip to less grip, to more slippery tarmac. And here you have good, really good grip on the first corner, and then it switches. Around here, and if you carry too much speed, of course you will overshoot it, go too wide, and yeah, risk driving into the tire barrier. Fortunately, Kroģeris did or stayed in control with his car and didn't hit the barriers, but yeah, of course, a big mistake and points deduction there. As well as we saw in the first run when he was chasing, he was driving straight for quite a bit of time. So I think the winner is clear in this battle, but of course we will wait for the judges, because as we said, the judges are always right, and we have really good professionals, 3 really professional judges today with us. I will just, yeah. And of course we will have right now a buy run. Of course we have the result at first, and yeah, all 3 judges. Ivo Tsirulis gets the win and advances on to top 16, and will continue tomorrow. Thank you, Edgar Skruders, for the participation, and of course this will give him more motivation to work on himself and to get better for the next races. Talking about judges, yeah, as I said before, David Kalas from Czech Republic, Vernon Zvaneveld from Netherlands, and Heiko Simeonian from Belarus. 3 very experienced judges, and 1 very experienced driver, Jack Shanahan, despite his young age. Number 59, 22 years only old. He's 2 times Irish Drift Champion, 2 times British Drift Champion, also 2019 Drift Masters European Vice Champion, and the last year King of Riga 2020, 3rd place, and he's qualified very well in 2nd position, and that's why he has also a buy run. Gets automatically to top 16, where he will face the winner between Randalu and Kekin. Also, he uses the track, or his buy run, to check the grip levels. As he said in the interview before, the conditions might be tomorrow similar to this, so he's doing everything to get information into his brain, and then talk with his mechanics, of course, to check that out. Yeah, he's running a really interesting Toyota Supra, top secret body kit, 2JZ engine, and yeah, more than 800 horsepower for his car, rocking Triace tires on his car. So yeah, that was his buy run, and he's on automatically, as we said before. And now we will have the battle between Estonian Oliver Randalu and Italian driver Massimo Kekin. And it started raining again. We can see that on the screen. We can see that, of course, outside. So no drying up for today, that's for sure. And let's see how tomorrow it will go. There's always a chance of not raining, so the weather forecasts might differ from what's in reality. Right now we'll have the warm-up run, Randalu against Kekin. 1 warm-up, and after that they will return to the starting line. Oliver Randalu, number 36, Estonian champion in 2018 in Pro-Am class, Estonian Pro champion in 2020, so last year's champion, 3rd place in Baltic Drift Championship for him. And he's driving a BMW E36 turbo, so 3-liter BMW engine, M54 B30, more than 800 horsepower, so it's a nicely built engine, I would say, to get this much horsepower, not from an M3 engine, so really good job by the Estonian guys. And he's doing a very good job right now on the wet track. Massimo Kekin is struggling a little bit more than his competitor from Estonia. And Massimo Kekin also running a really interesting car, Subaru Impreza, 2JZ engined. Also, yeah, also straight 6 turbo. Yeah, concept is the same as for Oliver Randalu, and the horsepower is also the same. But yeah, in these conditions, horsepower really don't matter. What matters is the grip. And Peter, we go to him to an interview.
Okay, we're here on a noisy start line, and we have a serious battle coming up. You have a very interesting opponent. How is the car ready for weather like this? It stopped raining, and now it started raining again. How have you prepared?
I'm looking forward for nice battles. At Thursday, on one practice, little bit raining also, so I train on wet. So we will see how it goes, but I think everything will be okay.
So the battle itself, it's going to be very tight. In terms of the qualification, it was very, very close. So what is your strategy going into this? Are you going to go 100%?
Yes, I must go for 100% because I didn't make a best qualification, so I lose some points. So now it's time to go really hard.
Absolutely excellent. So the drivers are still going 110%, even though it's such treacherous conditions. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we will get to Marco Zaccarello a little bit later during the battles. Right now we'll concentrate on Oliver Randalu against Massimo Kekin. The battle in top 32 between Estonia and Italy. Interesting matchup, of course. I think you don't get much other sports where where these two countries meet. So let's enjoy this. Oliver Randalu out front. Massimo Kekin is chasing. And yeah, we see heavy rain again. It's getting wetter and wetter. I think the grip conditions won't change much, but maybe we'll see a little bit more standing water. That's, of course, makes it more different for all the drivers. But conditions are always the same for everybody, as they say. So everybody needs to adapt. A huge distance between the two drivers, but no big mistakes until this point. Massimo Kekin is spinning out in the chase position. Right now, Randalu has to keep it together until the end. He's doing very well until now. Last corner onto the wall, and yeah, he's getting very, very close to the wall despite this heavy, heavy rain, and he's over the line. Oliver Randalu with a great performance despite these horrendous conditions right now outside. I think it started to rain harder and harder during the run, so maybe that surprised a little bit also Massimo Kekin, because the first half of the track he was doing all right. He was okay, the distance wasn't good, but the line from him and the angle and everything seemed okay from Massimo Kekin, almost as good as on his dry performance. So we see very, very nicely judged the change of tarmacs here for both drivers, and yeah, a little bit overshooting, overcooking, and that's a zero, of course, for Massimo Kekin in this run. Or not a zero, but a huge disadvantage against Oliver Randalu, and we will see how it plays out in the second part of this battle. And of course, we can say that Massimo Kekin, driving for the team ACA Italia team, and Oliver Randalu. Oh, here we see perfectly how much it's raining. Yeah, very, very difficult conditions. We see standing water, like flooding water right now on the track. Hopefully the rain stops at the moment, and hopefully we can continue and we don't have to have breaks. But yeah, we can see how hard it is raining right now. Such difficult conditions for everybody, of course. And yeah, they have switched positions, and I assume right now they're talking, the track marshals, everybody are talking with each other, with the organizers, what to do. Is it safe to run? Is it possible to run? Do we have too much standing water or not? Because nobody wants to risk anything, for sure. Motorsport can be dangerous, but yeah, you have to limit the dangers, that's for sure, and that's what always organizers are doing. But right now it seems that everything is okay. The track can still be driven, and yeah, we get to the green light. Massimo Kekin from Italy out front. Oliver Randalu will be chasing. The best position right now, or the cards are in the hands of Oliver Randalu. Has to just follow and not make a huge mistake. No straightening out, no spinning around, no going off track. That's a slow transition for Randalu, but still he's in. Oh, and Massimo Kekin making once again a huge mistake, spinning out, and that's two spins for Kekin. Oliver Randalu, oh, through the water, and loses his rear bumper in the standing water. But he's still going sideways, and I think he hasn't lost any angle during this run, despite his opponent crashing out before him. So Nice job from Oliver Randalu, and he's also one to watch for tomorrow. So I think his Estonian fans can be proud at this moment by such a great performance from Oliver Randalu. And I think the judges will agree with this. And of course, let's wait for the official results, as always. So as I said before, Oliver Randalu, drifting champion of Estonia last year, third in Baltic Drift Championship. And here we see once again the mistake by Massimo Kekin. And he was second in 2019 Italian Championship and third in Drift King 2019. So 2019 seems that was his best season so far for Massimo Kekin. And Oliver Randalu, I think, has a bright future ahead of him and already doing champion things. And yeah, he gets on to win a top 32 battle and gets to advance top 16. Thank you, Massimo Kekin, for coming to Riga, Latvia. Thanks for participating in FIA IDC. And Randalu will be having a tough matchup tomorrow against Jack Shanahan. But of course, that's tomorrow for a top 16. Right now we see Kristaps Blush. Yeah, the most famous, of course, Latvian driver. 2 times Eastern Europe champion. Also ex-Formula Drift driver who has won also one event in 2018 in Atlanta. And he's fully concentrated for his Byron. Yeah, of course, he qualified in 7th position, and that's why he automatically goes into top 16. But as every driver who has done that, he has to fulfill his Byron and go till the end of the finish line. So yeah, Kristaps Blush in his HGK E92 Eurofighter custom LS type V8, 7.3 liters, 888 horsepower. That's at least what Kristaps and his crew claims, and 1,260 kilograms curb weight, driving on Achilles tires. And yeah, 5th position in Formula Drift 2017 overall. So really talented driver, and he's making no jokes in his Byrons, drifting from the first corner on. A little bit over the curb, onto the wet line. And we see a lot of standing water right now, and it keeps raining. A lot of puddles there, and making no risks. Kristaps a little bit straightening out, but that's no problem as it's a Byron, and we see that almost every corner right now has standing water. So it's crazy out there right now on Biturnieki race circuit on this fantastic layout, but crazy conditions, so much rain. It's torrential rain at one moment, and right now. But drifting is fun to watch, of course, because it can happen also during rain. A lot of other motorsports can't happen during these conditions, but drifting can go on. And yeah, Kristaps goes to top 16, and he will face one of these 2 drivers in top 16. Either Georgi Chivchan, 2-time FIA IDC champion, or Manuel Vaca. So Chivchan or Gocha from Russia, Manuel Vaca from Italy. And it's their warm-up run. Yeah, Manuel Vaca also has titles under his belt, 2 times Italian Drift Championship champion. And also 2019 Formula Drift USA Pro driver. But he's not really drifting, he's, I don't know, warming up his tires F1 style. I think that will be a huge problem if he won't start drifting. Okay, he has started check out the grip. But yeah, really difficult seems to adapt. Okay, we go to an interview.
I'll just ask you about the start line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can ask me about my role.
So we are here at the start line. I've got friends from the FIA. So this is a little bit new in terms of drifting in FIA. We've done it for a couple of years now, and obviously safety is at the highest level in terms of FIA standards. So what is your role here on the start line?
Well, I'm the technical delegate for drifting. I oversee the scrutineers, the local scrutineers from the ASN, and I'm here just to make sure that all the safety standards and safety rules have been followed.
Excellent, thank you, friends. So even you can see, even in the treacherous conditions, safety is taken as the highest standard every single time, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. It's raining a lot down here, but back to you guys from the tent.
Yeah, it's raining really, really hard. Fortunately, I have a roof over my head, but others don't. And of course, the drivers have also a roof over their heads. And they're getting ready for their top 32 battles. Right now, Georgi Chivchan, or better known as Gotcha, 2 times FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup winner, who is driving a Nissan Silvia S15 against Manuel Vaca, who is driving a BMW M3 E36. And the big question is, can Gotcha make it a triple or make it a hat-trick? 3 times in a row IDC champion. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow. Right now he has to win firstly Manuel Vaca from Italy. Of course he's the favorite here, but nothing comes easy in drifting, and we see right now really good performance in the first corner by both drivers. First transition onto the main straight to the very, very slippery conditions. Both drivers doing it okay. And we have a big mistake right now from Manuel Vaca. He is straightening out one time, straightening out another time, trying to get closer to Gotcha, at least having some fun a little bit at the end of the track. And Gotcha is perfectly driving under these conditions. No problems at all for him. Manuel Vaca through the inside, trying somehow to get closer, but finishing on the line. And one cone down by Manuel Vaca. I assume at the starting line he will give it back to the organizers, but we will see it right now once again in replay. So I would say pretty much perfect run from Georgi Chivchan with number 31. Yeah, of course he's not only 2 times IDC champion, but also 3 times Russian Drift Series champion from 2017 to 2019. Driving a 2JZ powered Nissan Silvia S15, 900 horsepower, and tires Proxys R888 model. And of course we can take a look also on Manuel Vaca's car. It's a BMW M3 E36, but with a newer power plant, so from E46 M3 S54 B32 engine plus turbo, so it's making 800 horsepower and driving on Westlake tires. So that's that about these 2 cars. And of course, very beautiful, this S15 Silvia from Gotcha. And we see also the interior of the car, also very nicely. And we can see the quality of this interior of this car. And of course, if you want to be 3 times RDS champion and 2 times IDC champion, you have to have a good car, good material under yourself. So that's what Gotcha has. And let's see, second part of the battle. In the first run, while chasing, Manuel Vaca made a few big mistakes straightening out, and Georgi Chivchan will be right now following. And I think it is pretty clear, pretty straightforward what Gotcha has to do right now, but we'll see. A lot of experience, of course, a lot of titles for him, and he has the mentality to get everything right and to make no mistakes. And it's a red flag. Aborted start. The question is why? Maybe we will see that in a replay, what happened on the start, why it's a red flag. I think there was the green light was on but yeah, maybe maybe the starting cone was hit. Yeah, of course. We have for the lead driver these cones that he has to drive through like an S formation, so that the chase car can follow closely up to the first corner. So that's the standard for every big drifting competition for the last, I don't know, 5 years at least, I think more. So it seems that he hit the cone, first strike for Manuel Vaca, and looked like tinted windows for Gotcha, but it seems that they're just maybe with the fog from inside. Okay, no problems this time. The second start is right, and Manuel Vaca gets a good lead. Let's see how will he drive, with mistakes or not, without mistakes. And a pretty huge distance right now between Vaca and Chiuchan. It's almost an inactive chase. I think he has to go a little bit closer. Of course, he's doing it right now, but as we said, the conditions are really, really difficult, and Gotcha very close to the wall, almost straightening out, so not a perfect chase run by Gotcha. He's trying to play it safe, of course, trying to not go too close to his competitor, who is not driving very stable. Yeah, but of course, a little bit mistakes from Vaca too, and the distance, a few car lengths at the finish line, and yeah, Gotcha or Chiuchan playing it really smart, like an old fox, and that's how you have to do it sometimes, especially in these conditions where one tiny mistake can of course lead to a losing out, or lead to a crash. So Gotcha, as we see it, was playing it really safe with a few car lengths behind. But I think it was enough to not give him inactive chase. We see here very close to the wall. That was actually quite a big mistake from Gotcha, and that could have ended really, really badly, but he pulled it all together. And did everything okay till the finish line. So I think the result is almost clear this time also between Georgi Chiuchan and Manuel Vaca. Yeah, of course, if we would have dry conditions, the drifting would be much faster. I would say closer also between the quality of drivers, because on wet conditions you have to adapt, because yesterday, all day, Friday practice, dry weather, so the drivers really adapted to the dry conditions, to much grip, and of course, if you have only one run, like we have today, one test run to get it all together for these wet and slippery conditions, so it's really difficult. And of course, Georgi Chiuchan gets the win and advances on to top 16, where he will meet tomorrow Kristaps Bluž. So a real interesting fight tomorrow between these two heavyweights of the drifting world. That's how we say it. Right now we'll have a bye run for James Dean. He qualified as third with 97 points, and he's driving for IMOL Racing team. He's together with Daigo Saito and Charles Eng. Unfortunately, Saito already out of competition because of technical issues for his Toyota Supra, and the two standing IMOL drivers are Charles Eng and James Dean. Of course, both very much high-level drifters. James Dean, as we know, of course, five-time Irish drift champion, 7-time European drift champion, 3-time Oman International drift champion, and 3-time Formula Drift USA champion. Making a mistake here on his bye run, of course, it doesn't really matter. But it starts, of course, with something, and the run, of course, will end at some point. So, of course, making the most on these conditions right now, James Dean, preparing himself for tomorrow, because tomorrow is when it all will count for him, and of course for all the other drivers that are already in top 16. And we have some battles left. The last positions in top 16, and really nice sliding. That is great from James Dean. Real precision on the curb, so really nice show from James Dean on his bye run. Yeah, and the winner of this battle between Marko Zakuril and Kodua Nodo will advance, or will be driving tomorrow against James Dean. Marko Zakuril from Czech Republic with the number 555 in his BMW F22 M2 will be driving against the only driver from Georgia, Tbilisi, Kodua Nodo. He has a lot of fans or family with him who were really cheering during the presentation, and this is of course a warm-up run. So important for the drivers right now, but not important in terms of a result. And yeah, Kodua Nodo, winner of Georgian Drift Series 2019, winner of Red Bull Car Park Drift Georgia 2020. So it seems that Kodua Nodo is the best driver in Georgia. And Marko Zakuril, of course, also is one of the best. Oh, and makes a mistake. Marko Zakuril goes off track. Hopefully he didn't break his car, the rear suspension of his BMW M2. But yeah, Kodua Nodo is continuing on. So yeah, Marko Zakuril, 4 times Czech champion. And we have an interview.
Okay, guys, so we are here at the start line with Georgi Chevchek. Georgi, this is looking very difficult. The rainy conditions, it stopped raining now for a little bit as well. How have you prepared? Is the car ready?
We just changed the springs for shocks, and the condition very dangerous, because when you go to the water, no grip totally, and I not think about clipping zone. I think only about can I nose ride, I mean drift. Yes, and yeah, no easy to drive, no easy.
So you're literally driving to survive, no clipping points, just survive the run.
Yeah, just survive the run.
So there you have it, guys. No clipping points, they're driving to surviving at this stage.
And of course, yeah, drive to survive for everybody today here at FIA IDC in Riga, Latvia at Biķernieki circuit. And yeah, if a master like Gocha says that it's difficult to drive, that it's dangerous to drive, then how is everybody else feeling here right now? So Gocha says he's not thinking about clipping points, he just wants to survive the run. No straightening out, just keep it sideways, and that's what Gocha did, and did advance on to top 16. But these two guys also want to advance on to top 16, Marko Zakuril from Czech Republic and Kodua Nodo from Georgia. So who of them will be facing tomorrow? James Dean, the machine. Not an easy task, but the first task, of course, is to win each other and try to qualify for top 16 for the tomorrow's racing. And interesting cars, one BMW M2, one BMW 1 Series. So these small BMW coupes right now against each other. Zakuril in the front, Kodua chasing. And mistake from Zakuril, double initiation from him. Of course, you can forgive that a little bit during these conditions. On dry weather, that would be unforgivable. And right now, Kodua was really far away. He's coming a little bit closer. And Zakuril, yeah, trying to minimize the contact with standing water. And Kodua, really nice, nice proximity, really getting close to his opponent. Really close battle at this point on this last corners of the track. Zakuril out front, and Kodua really close. And side by side they go over the line. What a battle! Wow, I think this was the closest battle we have seen today in top 32. So Marko Zakuril out front. Let's see again the initiation from him, because there are cones where you have to be sideways. So these are the cones. Here you should have be sideways. And yeah, there was a mistake, of course, from Zakuril at this moment. The first two corners very far away, Kodua Nodo. But at some point he gets closer. And yeah, really interesting. This last part, these last transitions and corners, really good job by Kodua, by Nodo Kodua, sorry. And yeah, wow, that was amazing. It was really a run to cheer for, and everything is, I think, is wide open after this first run. Yeah, of course, points deduction, I would say, for Zakuril for these not drifting in the first corner. The question is how much points deduction or yeah, for that. But I think really good chase run by Kodua. And of course they will switch positions. Kodua will be driving out front, Zakuril will be chasing. Zakuril with a V8 turbo, M62, 4 liters, 800 horsepower, and Nodo Kodua with also a V8 engine, but General Motors LS6, 6.9 liters and 900 horsepower. So interesting choice. Kodua driving a normally aspirated or naturally aspirated engine, V8, and Zakuril a turbocharged V8. And okay, and we will get right now Byron for 69, because what? So yeah, so the Georgian driver has 5 minutes, but no, he is back on the track, and we thought that we will have a Byron for Chepa, for Alex Golovnya, but very fast 5 minutes from Kodua. It seemed that he wanted to check something on his car, but everything is all right, did it quickly, and right now I think this is one of the closest battles we have seen today. They qualified 14th Zakuril and 19th Kodua. So yeah, with almost same performance in qualification or in qualifying, and right now almost yeah, similar performance in the first run. Let's see what the second part of this battle will bring us. Zakuril against Nodo, Czech Republic against Georgia. So interesting matchup between these two guys, and yeah, BMW 1 Series right now out front against the BMW 2 Series or BMW M2 chasing. So I think we should see the lights in just a sec, and we see some battle scars from Kodua's car. I assume that's from practice or maybe from one of his quali runs. So Nodo Kodua is ready. Proud Georgian flag on his arm, on his race suit. And I assume they should be ready to rock in just a second. Yeah, the green light will come on, and we will have the second part of this battle. I'm really looking forward to it, because there's no guaranteed winner right now. Kodua out front, Zakuril chasing. And Kodua is sideways in the first corner. Zakuril pretty close, just a car length between the two drivers. No major mistakes right now. Both drivers sideways, both drivers on track. Yeah, almost on track. A little bit of wide going off track from the Georgian driver, but he keeps it together. Bumper flies off, and of course no clipping zones right now. They're just trying to survive, just trying to drive straight, not straight, trying sideways, and losing a little bit of angle from Kodua. Zakuril coming really near right now, and they're also close and very close over the finish line. These two drivers, what a battle between the Georgian driver Kodua and the Czech driver Zakuril. Yeah, it was really close. It was a spectacle as we expected, and wow, now it's really up to the judges what they will have to say. I think a lot of analyzing and comparing between the two runs, because of course you compare both lead runs against each other and both chase runs. Yeah, this is of course a mistake from Kodua, but at the same time Zakuril had on his first run, on his first lead run, also this mistake by straightening out on the first corner. So I think it's comparable or relatable mistakes by these two drivers. So here we see a little bit of hesitation by Kodua, yeah, losing a little bit out of angle. So both drivers with mistakes, but such a close battle. I really loved watching this. We see it a little bit here in, I don't know, is it slow motion? Because it's of course much slower on these wet conditions than on dry, and it maybe seems like slow motion, but it's I think it's real time. Now it's slow motion, of course, and we see it's still raining, heavy rain here in Riga, Latvia, at the Biķernieki racetrack. And yeah, what can you do? Just adapt and try to survive in these conditions. And we see here once again the bumper flies off. Very good, nice job from Zakuril not hitting it, and yeah, losing a little bit of proximity there. But here, yeah, we see almost stopping from the Georgian driver. So I wouldn't want to be a judge right now. It's a really difficult task for them to crown the winner of this battle. Who will go up to top 16? Who will continue their battle tomorrow? And yeah, who will go against James Dean, the machine? Yeah, the most titled drifting pilot in the world. I think that's for sure. But yeah, we'll get to James Dean tomorrow. Right now we are still concentrating on the outcome of Zakuril against Kodua. We see standing water everywhere. I think on every corner we have these patches, and that's here at the starting line. And yeah, Alexei Golovnya will have his bye-run. He qualified as 6th with 88 points, and yeah, he advanced automatically into top 16. So of course he will try also right now to understand the Ukrainian driver, what to expect tomorrow if the conditions are the same. And yeah, Chepa with number 69, last year's Russian Drift Series champion, also Ukraine champion 2013 and 2015. And did we see the result? Okay. So yeah, we've had, of course, on the screen that Marko Zakuril gets the win and advances on to top 16, but heads up really for Nodo Kodua. Really nice battle, and a really nice yeah, fight between these two drivers. So thank you Kodua, and thank you Georgia for being here at FIA IDC. And of course we will see tomorrow Marko Zakuril from Czech Republic going against James Dean. But right now we have the bye-run of Alex Golovnya of Chepa. As we said last year, Russian Drift Series champion, rocking a 2JZ powered Toyota GT86 with 1000 horsepower and Cylon tires. Almost everybody is driving 18-inch wheels. I think the only one with 17-inch wheels was Edgars Kroģeris. And the other guys are rocking 18-inch wheels and tires. So everything good for Alex Golovnya, for Chepa, the Ukrainian driver, on his bye-run. And yeah, we will see him, of course, tomorrow. Yeah, really hard charging and going over the tarmac in the first corner. So yeah, no joking here from Alex Golovnya from Chepa. So wow. He's not taking it easy. And we go to Peden right now with the next interview.
So guys, you come to us here from an incredibly wet start line. The drivers now, it's incredible to see the teams are working frantically with every single driver, making the smallest changes, watching every run on the live stream and making small changes every single time they see a run. It's absolutely incredible. One thing that is for sure is it's still raining down here on the start line. Back to you guys.
So yeah, thank you for the update. Of course, it's really raining, and it's interesting to see and to hear that the drivers, not only the drivers have to adapt, but of course the mechanics and the engineers are also adapting and making changes to the cars. And right now we see the warm-up run between Charles Eng and Michael Reichert. So Charles Eng from Hong Kong, China, and Michael Reichert from Czech Republic. Of course, the favorite here is Charles Eng out front, who is right now the lead driver. Michael Reichert is chasing with a few mistakes here and there, but as I said, this is a warm-up run, not to be judged. They will be back at the starting line in just a couple of minutes, and we'll go on with their battle. And yeah, this is the last top 32 battle today, and the last top 32 battle in FIA IDC 2021. So of course this is the last place in top 16 to be awarded, and the winner will go against Alex Golovnia or Chepa. And yeah, Charles Eng, of course, former FIA World Touring Car Championship driver, also of course ex-Formula Drift driver, but for the last few years has been competing in RDS. And yeah, he was vice champion of RDS 2019, so 2 years ago, and he's driving for IMOL Racing, as well as Michael Reichert is driving for Liqui Moly team. So of course the team competition is also here this weekend at FIA IDC 2021. And of course at this time we want to say thank you for our big partners, without whom this event of course couldn't happen. So big thank you for the general sponsor IMOL, that is of course producing really great lubricants and oils. Kaspersky, official sponsor of this event, and yeah, digital security from them, and of course RDS Russian Drift Series, the FIA IDC promoter for the years from 2021 till at least 2023. But we go on to the last top 32 battle. Charles Eng against Michael Reichert. Charles Eng driving the 2JZ powered Nissan 100 SX with 755 horsepower, and Michael Reichert driving BMW M3 E92 with BMW S54 turbo engine with 1000 horsepower. So let's see the battle between these two drivers. Charles Eng, IMOL Racing out front, followed by Michael Reichert, Liqui Moly team. And right now very close battle. Charles Eng doing everything right. He has learned from his test run and has put everything together in his brain calculator and is making no mistakes, hitting also all the zones. But Michael Reichert is on his toes. A really close chase run, and a really great battle right now between these two drivers, between Eng and Reichert. So let's see the last transition, very close. Is Eng going to the wall? Yeah, he gets closer, really nice run. And of course Reichert following very closely. Wow, what a finishing end to this first half of the battle between Charles Eng and Michael Reichert. Also, I think one of the most quality tandem runs we have seen today at this top 32 in these, yeah, as I said, horrendous conditions. It's raining, it's still raining out there, it's still standing water on the track, but the drivers are having none of it. They're driving to survive here at FIA IDC 2021, and we see really perfect run, I would say, from Charles Eng, measuring everything correctly, seeing where the grip is, seeing where there's no grip, and hitting out all the right zones. And Reichert, yeah, you have to also praise him for really nice chase run, giving the conditions. So I'm really looking forward for the second run, what it will show us. Will Eng be driving closer? Will he match the same proximity? And what will do Reichert out front? So really tense battle between these two guys, and only one of them will advance further to top 16 and will compete tomorrow in top 16. So yeah, of course, tune in tomorrow also for the battles from top 16 till the end, till the finals. So that will be really, really great to watch and great to see. If we're talking about time, then I think tomorrow, if we look at a local time, it will be 2:40 or like 14:40 opening ceremony, and at 3 o'clock local Latvia time. So that's a GMT +3. We will be having the top 16 to final battles. So tune in tomorrow also from 3 o'clock. As I said, all times GMT +3. So Riga, Latvia local time is 3 o'clock or 15. Yeah. But we still have this one battle left, the second half of this battle, and the interesting thing, we haven't had one more times this top 32. Of course, that can change. We have still the possibility, but let's see. Let's see how it will play out right now between Michael Reichert, who will be leading, and Charles Eng, who will be chasing. So, yeah, interesting matchup between these two guys. Yeah, Eng from Hong Kong, China, and of course Michael Reichert from the Czech Republic. Thumbs up from both drivers. They are ready to go. And yeah, probably the last battle of today here at FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2021 in Riga, Latvia, Bijernieki circuit. Ooh, it's tense. Seems some kind of problems for Michael Reichert. Okay, but should be okay, and we should be ready for this second half of the battle. And both drivers are ready. Now Reichert out front, Eng following, BMW against Nissan. And of course, right now, Czech Republic against Hong Kong, China. How will it play out? Of course, Eng was the favorite going into this battle. But right now, we of course don't know what will happen. Very good first corner. Nice outer zone from Michael Reichert. Good proximity from Charles Eng. And a little bit off track. Yeah, that's a huge mistake, of course, from Michael Reichert. Charles Eng keeping it all together, very close to his competitor. A little bit lot of angle from Michael Reichert here in outer zone 3, outer zone 4. Now through the touch and go, that's very good. A lot of standing water there, and Charles Eng doing a great job in following very closely, and of course trying to match, trying to get closer. I think it's very close between the two drivers. Last corner over the line, and wow, what a battle! I think this was the best battle we have seen today here in top 32. So I think both runs without huge mistakes. Yeah, we saw Reichert overcooking it a little bit in the second corner, going wide, going with two wheels out of track. But we will see that once again here at the replay. And of course, a difficult job to the judges to say who was better, who should advance to top 16. And yeah, hats up really, or thumbs up for Reichert for keeping it together. And he's showing a much more better driving in these wet conditions than he did in the dry conditions before, because he was only 22nd in qualification. But right now, mixing it up with Charles Eng, who was 11th in qualification, and who is doing a really great job here in the last corner. So, wow, that's really a close battle between these two drivers in yeah, very different cars from very different countries, but they both are united in this drifting sport today here at FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2021. Whew, let's wait for the scores. Let's see, of course, the onboard from Charles Eng and some really nice slow motion action through the standing water. Oh, really difficult conditions for everybody, but they have made it through. And what's of course the best thing, that we didn't have any big crashes, no major crashes today in these yeah, really tricky conditions. So, and the score are in, and Charles Eng advances on to top 16. Thank you, Michael Reichert, for putting up such a great fight. So that's it for top 32, and we have all the 16 drivers who will compete tomorrow. At the same track here, and we have, of course, here also the Battle Run tournament tomorrow. Idiayu Tulin against Hipki, Miller against Losev, Chirba against Sergracev, and Bertans against Tirus. That's one half of this top 16. And of course we should have also the other half. That's right, the other half is, Shanahan against Randalu, Blush against Chivchan, James Dean against Marcos Zakuril, and Alex Golovnya against Charles Eng. So what fantastic big drifting names in this top 16 tomorrow. So tune in, everybody, tomorrow from 2:40. The battle start at 3 o'clock GMT +3 time, and I think that's all from us today here at Bikerniek Race Circuit. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.
Bye.